The Maine Turnpike Authority says issues with its E-Z Pass system have been fixed weeks after they started surfacing. A couple of weeks ago, the MTA said there was a service interruption with one of its toll system providers, causing users to get messages directing them to call customer service when they went through toll plazas. At the time, the Turnpike Authority said customers could ignore those messages. Today, the MTA said the issue had been resolved and all toll plaza message signs and lights are working properly. Moving forward, drivers who get a message to call customer service should do so to address a potential issue.